In a future not so far from today, Earth had transformed into a dystopian stage where the curtain was perpetually drawn against the backdrop of ecological disaster. Smog hung over the cities like a persistent fog, the sun struggling to break through. Rivers that once sparkled with life now trickled like forgotten memories through concrete canyons, while the last remnants of wildlife lingered in the shadows of urban sprawl, desperately trying to adapt or perish. Amidst this chaos lived Tess Morgan, an environmental activist with an oversized heart and a wardrobe that reflected her chaos, mismatched socks peeking out from under a flowing dress adorned with the slogan, "Save the planet, one snack at a time." Tess had a knack for making a splash, quite literally, as evidenced by her latest protest against the monstrous corporation known as Green Scourge Incorporated. She was currently attempting to chain herself to a statue in the city square, determined to make her voice heard. "Stop polluting our future," she shouted, her voice rising above the clamor of honking cars and indifferent pedestrians. Just as she fastened her chain, she realized that she had miscalculated the length, and with a dramatic flourish, she stumbled backward, falling straight into a fountain. Water sprayed high, drenching her and her protest signs, turning her message into a soggy mess. The crowd erupted in laughter, and Tess, blinking water out of her eyes, couldn't help but join in. "Well, at least I'm making a splash," she quipped, raising her hands as if she'd just completed a performance. But the laughter faded as an announcement crackled over the loudspeakers, drawing everyone's attention. The government was unveiling Eden VR, a virtual world created to preserve the memories of nature and offer people a refuge from the harsh realities of their lives. The project promised a digital paradise where flora and fauna thrived, untouched by human hands. Tess rolled her eyes. Great. Just what we need, a digital escape while the real world burns. Yet, despite her skepticism, curiosity gnawed at her. Could she really uncover insights into saving the planet from within this simulated paradise? A quick scan of her drenched outfit revealed she wouldn't be attending any more protests today. With a sigh, she signed up for Eden VR, her heart a mix of hope and reluctance. When Tess entered the virtual world, it was as if she had stepped into a wildly colorful dream. The colors were almost too bright, the grass too green, and the flowers were cartoonishly oversized. She blinked in disbelief as she spotted a rabbit wearing sunglasses, sipping what appeared to be a coconut drink. "Welcome to Eden," it chirped, tipping its shades in her direction. Tess chuckled, shaking her head. This is ridiculous. Yet, she couldn't help but feel a glimmer of excitement. The landscape was alive with bizarre flora and fauna, trees that danced in the breeze, flowers that giggled when touched, and streams that sang cheerful melodies. It was a chaotic symphony of nature, a stark contrast to her gray reality. As she explored, Tess stumbled upon a gathering of avatars, fellow eco-warriors dressed in a mix of tie-dye and digital flair. They were engaged in a bizarre activity, knitting what looked like enormous sweaters for trees. Each avatar contributed their unique flair. One was a flamboyant parrot who squawked critiques of everyone's fashion choices, while another was a wise-cracking turtle who gave unsolicited life advice. "Life's a beach, my friend," the turtle proclaimed as it meticulously wrapped yarn around a nearby oak. "Unless you're chained to a fountain, then it's a bit more splashy." Tess laughed, finding herself drawn into their camaraderie. Amidst the hilarity, she learned that these activities were symbolic, representing stewardship and community in a world where such concepts had nearly vanished. Days in Eden flowed into weeks. Tess found herself laughing more than she had in ages. The virtual realm became a sanctuary, a delightful escape where every corner turned offered new surprises. However, the laughter started to feel like a mask, a way to cover up the stark truth of her reality. It hit her one day during a chaotic festival when a rogue digital cow nearly knocked her over in its exuberance. Amidst the carnival chaos, she overheard a conversation between two avatars, their tone shifting from joyful chatter to a somber discussion about the real world. "I can't believe we're stuck like this," one lamented. "Eden is nice, but it's not real. We need to face what's happening out there." Tess felt a pang in her chest. The truth washed over her like cold water. While she reveled in the fun and whimsy, she was just as much in denial as the others. But then Rory, a charismatic avatar with tousled hair and a contagious smile, approached her. "Hey! You're Tess, right? I've seen you around." His eyes sparkled with excitement. "What do you think of this whole virtual paradise?" "Honestly, it's hilarious, but I can't shake the feeling it's a distraction," she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. "Exactly," Rory said, his enthusiasm unwavering. "But what if we could use what we learn here to create real change? We can show everyone that the spirit of Eden can exist outside these digital walls." Tessa's heart raced. What if their quirky ideas and absurd activities could translate into actionable steps back on Earth? They began brainstorming ways to bring the vibrancy of Eden to reality, and as they did, the possibilities seemed endless, but their fun-filled brainstorming sessions hit a snag. During one particularly lively debate over whether trees preferred jazz or classical music, an unexpected glitch caused the ground beneath them to tremble. The bright colors flickered, and a warning echoed in the air: "System failure imminent." Panic rippled through the virtual gathering. Tess realized the urgency. "We have to save this place," she shouted, her voice steadying amidst the chaos. The laughter faded, replaced by determination. As avatars scrambled, Tess took charge, rallying her newfound friends. They needed to confront the glitch that threatened to trap them in Eden forever. In a climactic showdown with the evil algorithm manifesting as an over-the-top video game villain, complete with exaggerated mustache and cape, Tess found her footing. "Let's show this glitch what real teamwork looks like," she exclaimed, and with that, they engaged in a hilarious battle involving virtual pies, dancing contests, and even a spontaneous interpretive dance-off. Finally, just as the algorithm began to falter, Tess caught a glimpse of reality outside the simulation, a fleeting image of the world they'd left behind. She knew she had to choose: stay in this whimsical world or return to fight for the planet. With her heart pounding, she leaped toward the exit portal, calling out to Rory, who was right behind her, "Let's take the spirit of Eden back to reality." They burst through the portal, landing back in the grim, gray world. Breathing in the stale air, Tess felt the weight of their mission settle on her shoulders. She had returned from paradise, and now she was determined to make real change happen. Tess and Rory landed back in the real world, the stark contrast hitting them like a cold splash of reality. The colors were muted, the air thick with the scent of exhaust and despair. Tess looked at Rory, his avatar charm replaced by a look of determination. "We can do this," she said, her voice steady despite the bleak surroundings. Together, they set off to devise a plan. Tess was no stranger to grassroots movements, but this time she wanted to shake things up. They headed to the local community center, a dusty building that had seen better days. Inside, they found a smattering of locals gathered for a meeting, faces worn from the weight of the world. "Hey everyone," Tess called, her voice brightening the room. "We have an idea that could change everything." The attendees turned their heads, curiosity piqued. She glanced at Rory, who gave her an encouraging nod. "We just came from a virtual paradise called Eden, and we learned that we can bring that spirit back here." It's time to reclaim our connection to nature and each other. What do you mean? A skeptical voice chimed from the back. Tess took a deep breath, her mind racing with the memories of laughter, silliness, and camaraderie she'd found in Eden. Imagine a festival. A community event that celebrates our natural surroundings, where we can share knowledge, organize activities, and create fun ways to engage with our environment. A murmur of interest rippled through the crowd, but the skepticism lingered. That sounds nice, but we're all too busy just trying to get by, another voice replied. I get it, Tess said, her heart racing. But what if we made it fun? What if we had games, music, and even competitions to see who can create the best recycling project? We could have an Eden Day, where we bring the essence of that virtual world into our community. The room fell silent, weighing her words. Rory jumped in, enthusiasm bubbling over. We could even live stream it. Get people from all over to join in, share their own ideas, and create a movement that spans beyond our city. After a moment, a hand shot up, an older woman with silver hair and a gentle smile. I like the sound of this. We need something to uplift our spirits, something to fight for. Tess felt a spark of hope ignite within her. The meeting transformed into a brainstorming session, voices blending together as ideas flew around the room. Tess scribbled notes furiously, capturing every suggestion, from planting a community garden to hosting workshops on sustainable living. They even discussed organizing a "dress as your favorite plant" parade. The energy in the room shifted from skepticism to excitement. By the end of the meeting, Tess had enlisted a small army of passionate volunteers ready to bring Eden Day to life. Over the next few weeks, the group worked tirelessly, rallying the community and creating a buzz on social media. The town buzzed with activity, the air crackling with anticipation. Flyers were plastered on every corner, and local businesses joined in, donating supplies and sponsoring events. Tess felt the spirit of Eden coursing through her veins as they painted signs, built displays, and prepared for the big day. Finally, the day arrived. Tess stood at the edge of the park, her heart pounding. Colorful decorations swayed in the breeze, and laughter filled the air. Children darted around, dressed in green, yellow, and floral patterns, while adults chatted and shared food from various local vendors. Look at this! Rory exclaimed, his eyes wide with delight as he spotted the giant cardboard tree where kids were encouraged to write their eco-friendly pledges. It's like a real-life Eden. Tess couldn't contain her excitement. They'd created a space where everyone could reconnect with nature and each other. The festival kicked off with a parade of plants, people strutting in costumes representing everything from daisies to dandelions. The laughter and joy were contagious, each moment reminding Tess of the absurdity and fun of her time in the virtual world. As the day wore on, they hosted games that encouraged environmental awareness, a recycling relay race, a scavenger hunt for local plants, and a workshop on upcycling. Each activity sparked laughter, and soon, even the most skeptical residents were joining in, their initial reluctance fading like morning mist. But the true magic happened when they set up the live stream. With a few clicks and a wave of a hand, Tess was broadcasting to a wider audience. "Welcome to Eden Day," she shouted into the camera, her energy infectious. "We're here to reclaim our connection to the earth and each other." The comments section filled with messages of support and encouragement from people across the globe. "This is amazing. We want to join. Let's make this a movement." In that moment, Tess realized the potential of their gathering. It wasn't just a local event, it was a spark igniting a larger conversation about environmental stewardship and community engagement. As the day progressed, the joy was palpable. People danced, sang, and shared stories, weaving a tapestry of connection that resonated deeply within her. As evening approached, Tess climbed onto a small stage, the sun setting behind her, casting a golden hue over the park. She took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment. Thank you all for being here today. We've proven that even in a world that seems to have lost its way, we can still find joy and purpose in protecting what matters most. Let's take this spirit with us, back to our homes, our neighborhoods, and let it grow. Cheers erupted from the crowd, and Tess felt a swell of pride. It wasn't just about saving the planet, it was about nurturing the connections they had forged, the laughter shared, and the ideas born that day. Later that night, as the last of the decorations were taken down and the park fell quiet, Tess and Rory sat on the grass, exhausted but exhilarated. I can't believe we pulled it off, Rory said, a grin stretching across his face. Tess looked up at the stars, their brightness cutting through the remnants of dusk. It feels like we created a little piece of Eden right here. And if we can do this, imagine what else we can achieve. The festival had sparked something in the community, and Tess knew this was just the beginning. She envisioned future events, a movement that would ripple out from their little corner of the world, reminding everyone that change was possible. They could weave together the lessons learned in Eden VR with the grit of real-world activism. As the days turned into weeks, Tess kept the momentum going. She organized follow-up meetings, harnessed the excitement from Eden Day, and encouraged people to continue sharing their eco-friendly practices online. The community came together, developing projects that transformed vacant lots into gardens, revitalized local waterways, and educated others on sustainable living. One evening, Tess sat down to write a blog post about their journey. She described the hilarious moments from Eden, the wisdom gained from quirky avatars, and the laughter that bonded them all. Each word poured from her heart, fueled by the hope she now carried. But just when she thought everything was flowing smoothly, a new challenge emerged. Green Scourge Incorporated decided to fight back. They didn't take kindly to the grassroots movement sprouting up in their city. Tess received a call from the local news, requesting an interview about the festival and the community's growing opposition to the corporation's practices. The tension built as they prepared for the interview. What if they try to discredit us? Tess worried, pacing back and forth. What if they use their resources to drown us out? Rory placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. We've built something here, Tess. We have the community behind us. If we stick together, we can't be silenced. On the day of the interview, Tess wore her most vibrant outfit, hoping to channel the spirit of Eden. She walked into the studio with Rory by her side, a team ready to shine a light on their mission. The host greeted them warmly, but Tess could sense the underlying tension. So, you're challenging one of the biggest corporations in the state. Aren't you worried about the repercussions? Tess took a breath, steadying herself. Repercussions are part of fighting for what's right. We believe in preserving our environment and community. If we don't stand up now, when will we? As they spoke, Tessa's passion shone through. She talked about the community's efforts, the joy of Eden Day, and how they were committed to fostering a sustainable future. The host's questions grew tougher, probing for weaknesses, but Tess held her ground, drawing on the spirit of the vibrant festival. In the days that followed, Tessa's interview went viral. Their small movement began gaining attention beyond their city. People shared their stories, rallied behind their cause, and started similar initiatives in their own communities. Tess watched in awe as the movement expanded, fueled by the energy of the digital age. Then came the letter from Green Scourge Incorporated. It was a cease and desist order, threatening legal action if they didn't stop their activism. Tess felt her heart drop as she read the words. The threat loomed over her like a dark cloud, but it only fueled her resolve. What do we do now? Rory asked, concern etched on his face. We fight back, Tess declared, her voice stronger than ever. We won't be silenced. We'll show them that our community is united, and we'll turn this into a campaign that can't be ignored. With Rory at her side, Tess rallied her supporters. They organized a larger demonstration, a march through the city that would capture the attention of media outlets and citizens alike. They crafted signs adorned with colorful slogans: "Nature doesn't need us, we need nature," and "Eden lives on." Each word a declaration of their commitment to the cause. On the day of the march, they gathered in front of the city hall, a sea of faces filled with determination. Tess stood at the forefront, feeling the energy of the crowd surge around her. As they set off down the streets, the sound of chanting filled the air. "Save our Earth! Save our Earth!" People joined in, their voices rising in unison, echoing through the city. Tess couldn't help but smile. This was the embodiment of everything they had fought for. Each step felt like a reclaiming of their connection to nature, a reminder that change was possible when people came together. As they marched, Tess spotted a group of reporters at the end of the block, cameras rolling. This is it, she thought, adrenaline coursing through her veins. Reaching the end of the route, Tess climbed onto a platform set up for speeches. She took a deep breath, looking out at the sea of faces, each one a testament to their shared purpose. Thank you all for being here today. Together, we're showing that we will not be silenced by corporations that care more about profit than our planet. Cheers erupted from the crowd, their energy infectious. We're reclaiming our future. We're demanding accountability. Together, we are stronger. As she spoke, she could see the fire igniting in people's eyes. This was the moment she had dreamed of, the culmination of their efforts, the laughter, the spirit of Eden manifesting in their resolve to protect their home. Days turned into weeks, and as the movement gained traction, the pressure on Green Scourge Incorporated mounted. They found themselves in the crosshairs of public opinion, and the company began to crumble under the weight of scrutiny. Tess received word that they were considering a settlement, a possibility that sent waves of hope through the community. Finally, the announcement came. Green Scourge Incorporated agreed to a settlement that included pledges to reduce their environmental impact and contribute to local sustainability initiatives. The victory felt monumental, a testament to the power of grassroots activism and the spirit of Eden. In the aftermath, Tess stood with Rory at the park where they had held Eden Day, now a thriving community garden. Flowers bloomed brightly, and laughter echoed as children played. "We did it," she said, a smile breaking across her face. "More than that," Rory replied, looking around. "We've started a movement, and it's just the beginning." As they surveyed the vibrant scene before them, Tess felt a profound sense of gratitude. The absurdity of her adventures in Eden VR had brought her here, to this moment, where laughter, community, and the spirit of nature intertwined. Tess knew there would always be challenges ahead, but she was ready to face them. With the community beside her, she felt unstoppable. The journey was far from over, but the echoes of Eden would resonate in their hearts, inspiring them to protect the world they loved, one joyous moment at a time. And in that quiet park, under the sun shining down on blooming flowers and laughter, Tess knew they had found a piece of paradise, right here, in reality. The end.